Hello everybody and welcome to another episode of Sky Factory with me, Dullah-han. Since the last episode I haven't done much on the surface, at least on the top platform. I did get some upgraded meshes. I finally got some diamond. Took forever to save out that many diamonds. So today I want to make that process a bit easier by automating the sieving and crushing process. So as you saw earlier, there are 4 different kinds of meshes. We got the string mesh, we got a flint mesh, we got an iron mesh, and we have a diamond mesh. And over here I'm going to have one station for each of those meshes. But we need a way to power these two things in my hotbar, the auto hammer and the auto sieve. And here are the crafting recipes. As you can see, it's just some iron, some diamond hammers, and pressure plates, and the sieve is just some iron blocks, iron ingots, glass panes, and a sieve. So, you know, they aren't too expensive. I guess the diamonds can be a bit of a challenge to actually get for that many. Also, on another note, this place over here has been cleaned up a bit. The entire setup I had over there in the last episode has been moved over here, so all the obsidian production is now over here. But it's not going to be producing obsidian anymore. I have a lot of the stuff, so I'm not too worried about that. And if you look at the back here, you can see that there's some ink sacks and loot bags on the floor. That is because this water stream over here will spawn squids, which will then suffocate on the ledge and die. First things first, like I said, we need a way to actually power these machines, this hammer and this sieve. And the best way I've found would be to use a lava generator, this over here. These things are quite good for generating power. So firstly, what do we need? We need some copper, we need a machine frame, and we need electrum plates. Oh, as well as some redstone blocks. Oh, that one's going to be a bit of a challenge right now because I don't really have any. But I'm going to make one of them for now, just for the sake of the video, and then I'll make the rest of them off camera when I can. In case you're wondering, I tried using the coal generators that I showed in the last video, as well as these overclock generators, but they are not efficient enough. And the overclock generator, while it does produce a lot of power, it eats through it very quickly, and it just wasn't good enough really. So yeah, I won't be using those. To make electrum plates, I need an engineer's hammer. So then let's take that out so long, get some of that. I think it was like this, and then some string on the end, and there we go, engineer's hammer. So now if we okay, so if we take this, get some of those, 1 2 3, and put that in there, and now we have 3 of those. Okay, I need 2 gold ingots. I have 1 gold ingot, and I don't have any other gold on me apparently. Got the gold ingots. Now let's try and make this. Got the machine frame. Oh, I need 1 more of those, so let me just make 1 more, and then I need a redstone block. Throw that out for now, and boom, we got ourselves a lava generator Mark 1. Another thing that I need is a way to transfer the lava from the lava production station to the generator itself, and I've had some bugs trying to use the conduits and transfer nodes in the past. So far, the best method I found to transfer lava from the stone barrel to the generator is to use a tank from Endio. It is this one, fluid tank, which I can actually make that. Okay, I've got the generator and I've got the fluid tank. Now, a good way to do this would be to place down this fluid tank. If you right click on it, you can see it has this interface over here, and from here you can set this to pool, so it will pull the lava from the barrel into the tank. And then if I place this Mark 1 generator over here and then set the other side to push, it will then push that lava into the generator, which will then create energy, a lot of energy. Now, as I said earlier, I would like to have more than just these. I'd like to have a lot more than just this, because I don't know if this will be enough to actually handle all of the machines I have in mind. This setup that I have been trying to use, I will be running this energy conduit out of the generator and this item conduit out of the cobblestone generator, which is a tier 2, and from there they will be running into our machines. So I'm going to pull this out one more time, pop down an auto hammer on each side. Oh, well, not that side. With this setup, the cobblestone will be pulled out of the generator and pushed into all of these. Now, the way I would like to configure it is, firstly, this, well, let's start on the side. This hammer over here will pull in cobblestone, and then it will extract the gravel on the brown channel. The channel color kind of works like a network, so anything that inserts on the brown channel will receive things from this particular conduit connector, whereas anything extracting from green will be inserted into this connector and into this hammer. So if I then set this one to insert on brown and extract on blue, it will then pull out the gravel from here, push it into here since it's inserting on the brown channel, and then pull out the sand from here and push it into wherever the blue channel connection is. So over here, insert on blue and extract on, I guess, purple. There we go. And then the setup is not done yet. Next, we need to still add the auto sieves. So I'm gonna just add these 3 like this. So we know that this this hammer at the back will be extracting on the brown channel, and that will extract gravel. So we want to put the gravel in this sieve over here. So let's put the insert on brown. Oh, put the insert on brown and put the extract on cyan, I guess. It's a neutral color. It's not used by any of the other channels. And then the same with this. We know that the sand will be extracted on blue. So we put this on blue and extract on cyan. And lastly, do the same with this one. Extract on purple. Or insert on purple and extract on cyan. And that is that. Lastly, well, I just realized we're not sending any power to any of these. So The brilliant thing about inter-IO conduits is that you can stack different conduits or different types of conduits from the same mod. For example, you get fluid conduits, you get item conduits, and you get energy conduits. So you can kind of stack them all into one block space, so you don't have to worry about the block space that much. That should be everything, if I'm not mistaken. Lastly, let's just put our meshes in here so that they actually run when they have something to run to. And then a good trick for this particular, in this particular case, is to set the priority of the last two hammers to -1. That will essentially make sure that the sieves receive the gravel, sand, and dust before the next hammer does, so it will always be sieving. And the last issue we will have is where it will go. I still have to build a big storage thing for it, so for now let's just put down this crate over here and let's extract it to that. Insert on cyan, and that is why we have the cyan. Oh yeah, that is why we are extracting from the sieves on the cyan channel. That way everything on that channel will be extracted to the storage crate. And the last thing we need to do is set that to always active. And now, as you can see, this hammer is hammering away. And then from there it will go to this sieve where the gravel will come in. They are moving their arms but not actually doing anything. After the gravel is done sieving, the goods come here. And that is the setup I'll be using. Now I'll do the rest of it off camera, since there are still resources that I need to collect and gather, and you know that's going to take a while. Okay, now that all of the setups are complete, over here we have the string mesh, over here we have the, well, over here we have the, what is it, the flint mesh, over here we have the iron mesh, and over here we have the diamond mesh. Now I've also set up the priorities a bit differently for this last one. All of these are focused on just anything at the moment. It seems I made a bit of a miscalculation when I created the setup. I actually need one more set of hammers, because it doesn't actually produce the next level of sievable block before it gets to the sieves on time. For this one I kinda helped out a lot by actually just putting those in there, so it just already filled it up, and I also added more hammers to it so that it kind of keeps up. As you can see, there's 2 hammers here, there's 2 hammers here, there's no hammers there, and basically that just speeds up the process a bit. However, I need a lot of redstone, so for the diamond setup I decided to set the priority to make sure that it gets to dust, and the dust will sieve, so the others will suffer, but at least I'll get the redstone from sieving dust. As you can see, I have about 17 there, and I think about 9 of it came from the setup. And I had this setup the same way, but I decided that I'd rather like to get some diamonds as well, so I set this up to just go with the regular gravel sieving rather than the dust sieving, and that way I can get some diamonds as well. In the future and off camera, I'll add another row of hammers and set it up in a way that it will then be able to use or sieve all 3 levels and not just have it to choose one. Anyway, this episode is not done yet. No. Next is, you see these white elevator blocks that I've been using. I forgot to explain them. Basically, it's an ender pearl with surrounded by wool, and basically it allows you to instantly go up and down between them, between elevators of the same color. Now we have this level, but we also have this level, which is just down at the void. And the reason for that is because, well, I think I'll leave it for next episode, but essentially, the next level, this one over here, oh, this one over here, is where I will be making my mob farm, the actual mob farm, the permanent mob farm, not just this temporary one that I made in episode 1. While this one has been useful, it hasn't been as efficient as I would like, and it's very easy to make a decent one that actually is produces resources like in sort of fashion. But unfortunately, ladies and gentlemen, I'm a wee bit tired, so I'm not going to be doing that today. What I will be doing though is something I've been wanting to do for a while. First, let me check if I have enough resources for it. So there is another step to the automation of the sieving and the hammering, and that is processing the items and collecting the items. So I've set up a collection system which is just a basic crate for now, and I'll upgrade that in the future. But for processing the ores, you get the setup which involves a smeltery, or the alloy smelter, this thing over here, which is quite decent, as well as a sag mill, this thing over here. And this thing, what it will do is you can take bits and pieces of ores and other things, and you can make it, you can crush it. And this is true for the ore chunks that you get from sieving, so like the iron ore chunks. Essentially it will double the ore chunks by turning it into the grit of that particular metal. So for example, if we look at ore, right, golden ore, if you pass it through a sag mill, you will get gold grit and copper grit with some cobblestone. Let's take this, pass it through a sag mill, it will give you the gold grit and it will double your ores, and that will essentially, you get the same amount that you get out of the smeltery, but without having to put it in there and wait for that whole thing and then worry about it getting all tangled up with other metals. And then with the alloy smelter, you can also do the whole smeltery thing where you can put different metals together to get alloys. And I want to make one of these, but I don't know if I have what I need. Okay, so we've got all the parts, I think. So firstly we need to make a machine chassis, and for that we need that stuff. Then we need to make, next we make the alloy smelter, and boom, now we have an alloy smelter. And this is another reason that I went through the trouble of setting up a power source. And you know, by power source I mean these generators, because they require power, and this team will give it to them. So one of the few things I need right now is actually, if I look at energetic alloy, this thing over here, it's gold, glowstone and redstone. So I have the glowstone and the redstone over here, and as well as the gold. So if I craft up a sag mill, I can double that gold though, so I'm going to do that as well. So the recipe for the sag mill is fairly simple. You need another one of the basic capacitors. Then you need to make a machine chassis, which I've done, and then you need a piston, which I require wood for. There we go. And then you need some iron and flint. Flint I have one of these chests. Got my flint. And then I need a wee bit more iron. I think it was 4 bits of iron. Luckily I've set all of these up and they go a lot quicker than making a block. Boom. Okay. And that should be everything. And now we also have a sag mill. And right. pop the sag mill on top there. And the lovely thing about the sag mill and the alloy smelter is that they also have an interface which you can manipulate so that I can put stuff in the sag mill. So if I take this gold over here and I pop it in there, it will sag, it will mull, it will do its thing, and then it will just pop in here. As you can see, it is smelting, and there was 2 of them. And there we go, got 2 gold out of it. Now, I'm gonna switch this off. Oh, actually no, I'm gonna leave it, I'm gonna let this run quickly. Okay. Okay, while I was waiting for it to get smelted, I just went up and I made another small crate. And if I configure this to push that way, it will push all the items that it smelts into the crate. So what was it that I needed? It was, for the meantime, I'm just going to make some energetic alloy because it will be necessary in the near future. Not hinting at anything by pushing, by hovering over there or anything. I'm totally not going to make a jetpack. That would be crazy. I am, however, going to make some of these. Damn it, I need more gold. Okay, so I'm just going to make a bit of the stuff, the energetic alloy. And part of the reason is because eventually I want to get some vibrant alloy. Maybe not right now, but in the near future. And the reason for that is because if you look at the energy conduits, firstly, this is what I'm currently using. It uses conductive alloy, which uses quite a bit of redstone. But we can also make the enhanced energy conduits, which have a max output of 5000 or 120 RF per tick, which, I mean, it's not too impressive or anything, but, you know, it'd be nice. And lastly, we got the ender energy conduits, which use vibrant alloy, which unfortunately use ender pearls and energetic alloy. Ender pearls are kind of expensive, considering that I don't have the correct mob farm up and running yet. But, you know, I'll take what I can get. So, this is a very small system, or setup at the moment, but in the future it will be massive, and that is good. In the meantime, I'm going to pop this over here, set this to pull from there, and then just pop a whole bunch of ores in there for now. I will sort out my inventory eventually, but for now I'm just gonna pop all of these ores in there, or chunks at least. But anyway guys, this is gonna be all for me for today, for this episode of Sky Factory. I have been Dullah-han, and I really hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, then please leave a like. If you want to see more, then please subscribe. I have been Dullah-han, and safety, Owens.